Ratchet. 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 I like my girls ratchet.
What's going on, guys? It's Ratchet here, and today I'm going to go ahead and bring you, it is called FRST without an I, FRST MX. It's actually, it's not too bad for the guy's first track. So I'm going to go ahead and go down the list of all the pros and cons, but I want to go ahead and say right now, I'm not saying any of this maliciously. I'm only giving, constructive criticism, stuff like that. Anything I say that does have a problem, any problem I point out, I'm gonna try my best to try and say something good too. That's what constructive criticism is. It's not just talking trash about somebody's work. Because truly, this guy, there's a lot of really good things about this track, but there's some not so great things as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and start off. So it's only a free ride version. So I'm gonna go ahead and ride the track, as it's supposed to be ridden, to the best of my knowledge. So I assume that right here, because it's all cleared out, it's like a big, long, rectangle shape. This is where the starting gate is, I'm assuming. So we're going to go ahead and start off this first lap. So we're going to go ahead and roll down here, and right off the bat, this catches my eye immediately. The first lap, I actually hit it, I thought it was a jump or something. I'm not saying it to be mean or anything, but I genuinely didn't know what this was. Which I guess that might have just been he was using the tool, and then it just didn't he didn't smooth it out or something like that. It's not a big deal. It's really not. So we're gonna go ahead and get some more speed built up, and I've put down probably 10 laps or so. So there's a double or triple, I can't really tell what it's supposed to be. I cannot triple it. But yeah. So I'm going to go ahead, and I like this right here. I like this little section you put in right here. So it's kind of rough going into these ruts. You have some bumps. It's really cool. And then there's two different lane choices you can go with. So you can go ahead and cut inside through here. That's what that little rut right there on the outside is for. So it's outside cut to inside. Or you can tuck in and then shoot for the outside, which I missed the line a little bit, but you shoot for the outside. And that's actually really cool. Good job with that. Lane choice, it's always a good thing. It's not just you're forced to use one lane right here, which is really cool. And then we have this massive jump right here, which I smile every time I hit it because it's one of those jumps that's just awesome to hit. My only thing negative about it, I'm gonna say something good and bad about it. This is, I think, one of the only things where I both love this and I had a little bit of something wrong with it. Let's count them. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. There's not really any reason for it to be 6 jumps. It's just, I mean, I love the jump, but if you're gonna have stuff like this, make some of them, make it so that you can hit it different ways. Yes, there's 6, but you're forcing them to hit it in either 5 or 6. Doubling out, tripling out, it doesn't really work too well because of how steep everything is. So if you're gonna make it, that big of a jump, there's nothing wrong with it. I love that it's such a big jump to hit from high speed. You just hit it and you absolutely launch. But, cut out the unnecessary. You don't need 6 jumps. You can make it a big triple. There's nothing wrong with that. It's really cool. It just doesn't need to be that big. More roughness right here. I like that. And then this is actually something I'm going to turn around and I'm going to hit this at a higher speed. So he really did a good job for his first time with ruts. I messed that up that time, that was me. But every other lap, these ruts, they just grab me. They're really good. This inside one, the outside one is a little bit more, flat. So it's harder to get into. But yeah. This next section I have a bit of an issue with. I'm going to say why. I'm not just going to be oh, it sucks. So the inside line. First, it's hard to get into because when you come out of this turn, both of these they set you up to launch in this direction to go to the outside. Then you have the bumps and then the trees as well. And these trees actually have like a really big hitbox, and I'll show you like just how big of a hitbox they have. I just hit the tree right there. Like that's hitting the tree. So they're huge hitboxes. So to make it to this inside line is really tough. And then if you do make it, you have to slow up a lot because it's really smooth. Like you can blow through it super easily. That wouldn't be so much of an issue if the outside line was it's unusable. You can't use this outside line, and it sucks because it grabs you so well. Like that's such a nice line to grab. Like you can really rail this rut right here, this corner, this berm, whatever you want to call it. You can really rail it, but the issue is it sends you straight into like 5 or 6 trees. And we're gonna go back to the whole hitbox issue I talked about. You can't get through it. It's impossible to get through this. And when you're coming out of this corner as well, it's one of those. It's the same as the previous corner. It sets you up to roll right into here. So you're still gonna hit the trees if you try and cut around them. So the outside line is unusable. So here's something that I would like to see. Obviously, this is like me talking about if you were to go back and make like a version 2 of this track or something like that. I would like to see. I like that you want it to be like overgrown looking and stuff. What I would say though is maybe on the outside line, have you come out of this and then hit like a little double or something like right here. Like you go straight into the whoops if you take the inside line, but maybe like right here you hit a little bit of a double, and like you jump over like some fallen trees or something like that. Like that would look really overgrown. Like that would look, because I know in the description of the track he said he was going for an overgrown look, which I get that from this track. Like I pick up those vibes. It feels like a rough track, like one that isn't maintained, like stuff like that. But there's like with that style he went with, some of the stuff is unusable. Like this is a really really awesome line. Like believe me, it is. This is like if this berm right here worked, if it was functional, it would probably be one of my favorite turns in the entire track, but you just can't use it. So yeah, I spent enough time talking about that. We're moving on to the whoops. The whoops are awesome. He did a really good job with them. They're super rough, they're uneven, the spacing on them is amazing. Like they're really tight and compact on the inside, but if you don't hit them fast, like you're not gonna have the drive to get through them. And then if you go to the outside, it's super rough. You gotta carry your momentum. It's not easy, and I really like that. Like that's an A+ job on the whoops, dude. Is kejVTEC, is kejVTEC is the guy who made this track. So, Mr. VTEC, you did it. Like there's some really good concepts in this track. Like for your first track, it's pretty good. I'm not saying all the stuff to bash on you. Like truly, for your first track, it's good. That being said, I do think this belongs in like the beta track section. Like maybe you put it like under the completed tracks, like because you want more people to see it and like support it and stuff. And there's nothing wrong with that, but believe me, like the beta tracks get just as much support. I feel like maybe people would be more harsh on it because it is under the full tracks, like it's under release tracks and everything. And I don't know, I feel like people are going to be a little bit more harsh on it because of that, because you're saying it's a completed track, like because you're saying, oh, I'm done with this. So I feel like it would have been more reasonable to put under beta tracks, but all in all, like you did a good job for your first track, and I'm not gonna take that away from you. This whole video, I hope you don't get offended by it or anything like that. Like I said at the beginning, I only like to give constructive criticism. If I say like I don't like something or there's an issue with it, I'm gonna tell you like what I think could be done to fix it as well. Like I'm not just gonna point out like, oh, there's a problem here, I don't like it. And I don't think I said this. I hope I said it at the beginning of the video. I'm not saying any of this stuff to be mean or to be like criticizing. Like, I mean, I guess I'm criticizing it, but constructively criticizing it. But I'm not saying any of this to be mean or malicious or anything like that. Like really, props to you for making your first track. I really want to see what you can do, because just based on like this rough little first track you made, you show some stuff that shows you have some promise. like these ruts, like the berms. I keep on calling them ruts because they're really small, but I guess the berms or whatever you want to call these, you did a really good job with them, with most of them. Let me correct that. There are some of them, like I pointed out, that are like really like smooth and like you just kind of roll through them and stuff like that. Um, and here we are. Like, that would be a good example. Like you can't make the jump, and then you're just kind of like screwed. You know, like you don't have the speed to triple it, but you can't double it. I'm sorry, getting distracted. But yeah. So I hope this video helped. Maybe like bring some light to stuff. And yeah, like this is the one part of the track that actually frustrates me because it is such a good line. It really is. You did a really good job carving out this whole line right here, and it shows that you put effort into making it work because it really does work. But you just kind of took that away from us by throwing some trees down right there. Um, I would also say these trees, like, they look kind of cool, I guess. But the hitboxes, like I've seen them in other tracks, and the hitboxes on these trees, if you put them too close to the track, they're just so bad. Which for an overgrown track, like, yeah, trees gotta be close to the track. Um, but anyway, yeah, kejVTEC, you have my support. I just hope to see, like, more completed versions of tracks. If not, then more stuff in the beta slots. Like I mean in the beta releases, because you really 360. You really you have a lot of good concepts and stuff like that, and you can do certain things really good. But I would not call this a complete track. And again, I'm not saying that to be mean. I'm not saying any of this would be mean. I'm just saying that's what it is. Like, it really is. Like, it's a good track. I'm not going to take that away from you. Props to you, again, for making your first track. But I wouldn't say this is a full release version. And I really, really want to see, like a part 2 or like a version 2 of this track. One that's touched up, that has more done to it. Like, it's a good layout for a track. It needs more work is all. So yeah, I hope you don't get upset by this or anything like that. I was only saying this, I was only saying all this to help you grow, help you make better tracks, all that good stuff. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, I'm Ratchet. Thank you so much for watching the video. Like, comment, subscribe, help me grow as a channel, all that good stuff. I will catch you guys later. Peace.